if you're coming back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to achieve 3 different style of brows, I guess, just using 2 different products. So please, let's get a move on. Alright guys, so for the first and second, I guess, brow look, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in soft brown. And for the first, on one eyebrow, I'm going to show you guys how to do a really natural brow look with the Brow Wiz pencil. And on the second eyebrow, I'm going to show you a little bit more defined look, but still natural looking with the Brow Wiz. So let's get into it. Alright, so first I'm going to be doing the more natural eyebrow look using the Brow Wiz from Anastasia Beverly Hills in soft brown. And I am first going to take the spoolie on one end and just, this is super natural, so I don't need to really brush the hairs up or down to do it, because I'm just kind of filling in what needs to be filled in here. So once I get my brow brushed, I'm going to take the other end and just start going in the direction that the hair is going and just lightly filling that in. Just like this. And then if your eyebrows are like mine and they are uneven as hell, sometimes you need to draw some fake hairs on here. Maybe not all the way up there, but we can fix that later. Alright, so clearly I messed that up a little bit right here. So what we are going to do is just go in with a little bit of concealer on a small concealer brush. And I am just going to go right over that, and then just kind of blend that out. And then I know that will look funny right now because the concealer is so much lighter than my skin tone, but you know, that's concealer and we still have to put foundation on, so. Alright, well there you have the first brow look. It is as simple as that, just taking the brush, or not the brush, the pencil, and going in the direction of the hair very lightly, not really overlining them unless you really have to, and then you get this nice little natural brow look. So for the second eyebrow, I'm going to be using the same exact pencil that I just used, and this is just going to be a little bit more defined than the left eyebrow was. So for this one, I am going to brush everything up, all the little eyebrow hairs up, and then I am going to take the pencil side and I'm going to lightly line all underneath. And this is really what is going to make it more defined, because like we didn't do this on the left eyebrow, we just did everything in that motion. What the hell? We just did everything in little hair like strokes, and this one I'm gonna be, why can't I do this? Why can't I do this? I'm just gonna go ahead and line the underneath of my brow now because I can't talk. So I'm gonna start at the front and just lightly just line right on the hairline for this. And then once you have lined the underneath, go ahead and brush everything down. Don't mind my long ass eyebrow hairs. And then I'm going to do the same thing on top, except I'm going to start about right here on top for the line. And once you have that line there, if you just go ahead and brush your eyebrow back into place, and then you can kind of see if you need to fix the line anywhere at all. So I have that. We've lined the underneath, lined on top. Now the same way we did the left eyebrow, just gonna go in and do hair-like strokes with the pencil. Not really any harder than you were before, but kind of doing it a little more just to kind of darken the brow a tad bit. But trying to stay, it's just like you're coloring in a book, trying to stay in the lines of the brow. And then when I get towards the front, I lightly do that front portion on top that we left out when we were lining on top and underneath. Alright, and then once you feel like you have that down, going to go in with concealer and a concealer brush again, and then we are just going to carve out the brow, top and bottom. And just a really tiny bit of concealer because you don't really want to mess up the brow at all. You just want enough to make the lines straight. And then, of course, blending that down so it's not just a white line underneath of the brow. And then this is always good too if you like conceal or like if you line underneath and on top. You usually always do your brows like in the same shape every day typically. So if you have little random hairs growing, once you do this, you have your brows colored and filled in, you can kind of just see what hairs you don't want to be there. So it makes it easy just to like pluck them out real quick. And so I'm actually gonna do the same thing to the top now. And the top you always wanna be extra careful because your hand is always at a weird angle when you're doing the top of the brow. So I always go a little bit slower when I do the top. All right, and there's that brow, a little bit more defined than the left one, but still natural. All right, guys, so we are all up close and personal here. If you couldn't tell before, I'm sure you can tell now how uneven my eyebrows are. But on this first brow that we did right here, the left eyebrow, we did the most natural brow look for today, and the right eyebrow we did the more defined but still natural looking brow using the same product. So I just wanted to show you guys these up close real quick so that you could see the difference between the two if you could not before. Alright, so going into the next brow, I'm going to be showing you guys how I do my brows with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in the color Soft Brown. And this brow, because it's a pomade, it's going to be really defined. You can really cut it, make it look really sharp and full. So let's get right into that. Alright, so for this third eyebrow look, I'm going to be using the Dip Brow Pomade in Soft Brown from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I'm actually going to also be using the spoolie from the pencil that we just used before. So for this look, I am going to brush all of the hairs up again. And then this pomade, a little bit goes a long way with this stuff. So you just want to lightly tap your brush in there with your angled brow brush. Forgot to say that before. So I'm using an angled brow brush for this pomade. So after brushing all of the hair up, getting the product on here very lightly and very smooth and swiftly, I guess. You just want to be very careful of where you put this. So we're going to line the underneath and on top like we did for the last brow. Alright, and then once you have that bottom line, taking the spoolie again and brushing the hairs down. And then going back in with the dip brow, lining the top. And then this again, I start about right here, so I don't go all the way to the front of the brow. Then it's always okay if you mess up a little bit because you always can go back in with concealer to clean anything up in the end. So once you have a line on top, you just want to again brush everything back into place. When I use pomade, I like to really do a super defined brow. So some people, they'll use the pomade and they'll do the same thing that we did with the pencil and do light hair like strokes across the entire brow. I just go in and I color in the entire brow. So that is what we're going to do here. So being very careful again to not go outside of the lines you've already drew yourself, still going in the direction of the hair. And just working from the back to the front. And then as you get to the front, you want to go really super light. So here I'm going to draw on the front part of the brow. Super lightly. Alright, so once you have that done, we are going to go in with the concealer to then carve out the brow. And the same as before, doing the underneath and the on top. And this one, if you use a little bit more concealer, it works very well because then you get the really sharp line for a really super defined brow. Alright, and then going in on the top part. All right, and there you have that brow. I am going to go ahead and do the other brow off camera real quick, and I will be right back. Okay guys, so I have put on my full face of makeup after doing my brows with you, and this is what I came up with. I did film both the face and the eyes as well, and I will be posting those one next week and one the week after, so just bear with me on that. You will see this look. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys for eyebrows, and any questions or comments, please leave in the comment section below. Subscribe, always, share please, and thank you for coming to watch Emmua.